Hello and welcome to the MyGlue Introduction. So this is if you've just received your MyGlue login details. So you'll receive them via an email and then you need to click on it and create your username and password for MyGlue. So as soon as you've received that, you'll then log in and you will see a screen very much like this where you've got your main dashboard. So there's a couple of things that you really need to know about MyGlue to get the most out of it. So what we'd first of all say is your best bet is to go to the knowledge base first of all. So top right hand screen of your screen, you'll go to knowledge base and then it comes up and there's the user guides. There's lots of really useful help, but there's also multiple videos that we would recommend that you watch. So within the videos, there's lots of different ones that will show you how to use MyGlue, but also there is a documentation part of MyGlue. So we would recommend that you go through some of the different videos that are within the knowledge base, and that can be found in the top right hand corner. The other thing as well is that we would also recommend that you install the MyGlue extension. So this, obviously it's a Chrome extension, and for my demonstration I've already got it installed, but if you click on the installation it will pop up and then you just effectively click yes and continue, and then it will install the extension into your Google Chrome. The way that the password manager really works is it will use cookies within the Chrome extension so that then it knows exactly what websites you're on, so then when you go onto the website and try to log in, it will know the website and it will already automatically populate the password for you, so it will just make it much easier to use. So if you do those two things first. So now let's look at the main password manager. So first of all, there are two types of passwords that you'll be able to create. You've got company-wide ones and you've got personal passwords. So company-wide means, for example, if you've got a password that you might want to share with some colleagues, maybe it's an Amazon account that the business uses, then you would create them under the organization. Whereas if you've got personal passwords, you want to save them as personal because it means that only you will have access to it. So when we look at organizational passwords, your company will be in there. For this, it's a Syn-Star demo account. So we can go in and you can see lots of different things that we've got on there. But the main two on the left are documents and passwords. So if we go into passwords, you can then see that there'll be no passwords in there. But obviously if you're using it and other users, then you'll see. And this is where you can actually see your shared passwords or your personal passwords. So you go into shared. Now, if you've got a list of passwords already, then you can import them. But we would always recommend that actually it's a really good exercise to create lots of new passwords rather than importing old passwords. But you can do that. You can go to import, you can export, and you can also create passwords and password folders from within this section. Also with personal passwords you can create them. However, that's not necessarily the best way to use a password manager. The best way is actually from the front side, which is when you're trying to log in and create new user accounts from different websites. So for this one, I'm using Argos just purely as a demo. So what you would do is you would go on and you'd either try and create yourself a new password, a new account, and you register it, or when you go on to the email, you'll now see that there'll be a little MyGlue symbol. So you can click on this, and if you've got passwords saved already, you can select it. And then when you continue, it can then come up with the different password side of things. This is for the multi-factor. So if we do this, let's see if we can get through. And then when you get to the next stage, you can then, it will automatically populate the password. So with this, you can go to create password, and then it pops up with this screen. Now this is really, really important. So you've got, if it's your organization, that will automatically default in there. Now the password, it will give you a strong, difficult password. and you can click generate and it will then flip and do you another one. Now in terms of name, this is the name of the password. So for example, for this one I would do Argos because that's the name of it. And then if I click yes to it being a password, if I click no, it defaults to organisational, whereas this is going to be a personal password, so we click yes. Categories, you can categorise the different types of passwords, but you don't need to. The username, again, you want that in there and correct, because it just means that when you try and log in, it'll be much slicker. And then it's got the URL. So then you can do fill and save password. That automatically comes up with there. So that then, if you go back into your password manager, and then you've got your personal passwords, if you do a refresh, then it's already come up, and that's the one at the top there. So straight away you can either manage your passwords using the app, the front side of the website, or how we would usually say is you don't really need to use this part. It's more about when you go to log in to actual websites that you just want to be able to just chuck your email address in there, and then it will automatically push your email, your password that's already been saved in there. So nice and easy. It's essentially then just building them out. But what we would recommend from a security perspective is that yes, it can seem like a frustrating exercise to have to replace all of your passwords, but actually it's really good from a cybersecurity perspective to go into all of the main websites, select on the little icon that will be next to the password, and then just create it from the MyGlue, generate a really random difficult password. That then means that you're going to be improving your cybersecurity. But always make sure that you select whether you do want it to be a personal password, which means only you can use it and access it, or a shared password, which means different people from your organisation can use it. But any other problems, please do email Syn-Star support@syn-star.co.uk, and we'll be able to give you further instructions and help.